Welcome to my vlog. My name is Brian. For those that don't know me, I am a 12-time Ironman who got fat and out of shape, and using GLP-1 lost some weight, and about 9 weeks ago decided to get back into a formal type training program and get back into shape. So the first 8 weeks of my journey, you could go back and take a look at it. This is week number 9. I have not yet set a new goal for the next set of my training, but this is more like a rest week and kind of make it up as I go along, and this is how this week worked out. Okay, finished my ride. I'm on to week 9, and I really still don't have a goal or a plan or anything like that. So, but I didn't want to miss a ride or go back, so I decided, I'm gonna do an hour on the bike. Before I did that though, I went for a haircut. So funny, when I have my regular guy, he knows how to cut my hair, all that sort of stuff. But this time I go find a place, show up, I book it online, all this stuff. I show up. The place is like got all windows are boarded up and closed up in paper, and I'm looking at the address. Is this the right one? Yeah. I look on the internet, I call him, phone's disconnected. I find another number, guy answers. I say, are you guys closed? Yeah, I'm closed down. Hangs up on me. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So I find another place. And it's a young kid. I walk in, he's sitting on the chair. It looks like he's been there all day. So I sit down, he's like, hey, what do you want? And, all I want is a number 1 on the side and as short as you can at the top. And he's like, okay, on the side, do you want right down where you just see the skin, like that Dan Bilzerian sort of look? Or do you want, I said, can you trim my eyebrows? And he's like, well, do you want me to shape them and put some stuff? No, dude, I just want a haircut. He's ready to doll me up. I said, look, there's not a lot to work with, but just a little on the top. And so I had to get it to do it twice, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, ride was good. I tried to keep it as easy as possible. Still, the wattage is higher than I think it should be. I did average over 27 kilometers an hour, which it's probably closer to 28 because when I get out of Balboa Island, it's very slow and behind traffic. So first day back, Tuesday in the record books. Just got back from my ride. Week 9, I gotta tell you, is one of the most important weeks. And I'll tell you why. Is because I had an 8-week plan journey and I did that. And now you're on to week 9 and you don't have a plan and you're kind of making it up as you go along, and it's so easy to kind of fall off and lose some of that fitness. And the other side of it though is it's kind of liberating because there isn't a plan, so you get to kind of feel the vibe, like what do I want to do today? And yesterday I was going to go to LA Fitness, do weights, but my son needed the car, and so I couldn't go. So I went for a little walk, but it was more to get dinner. It wasn't like any sort of exercise or anything like that. So essentially I didn't train yesterday. And then today I had the urge. I got to go to LA Fitness. I pumped the weights, got a really good workout, almost an hour. And then it was 27 degrees out here, so it's like 77, 78 Fahrenheit. And it was just so beautiful. I said, when I get back, I've got to go for a bike ride. And weather does that to you too. When it's really nice, it's warm, at least for me, I feel like, I've got to go out there. So I went for a bike ride, tried to do it easy. That's the other thing, and then try to keep the ego in check. I did go slower than I normally do, but trying to keep my heart rate down. So anyway, back on track. Well, it's Friday and I messed up, man. I got too ambitious yesterday, even though this is kind of a rest week, so to speak, doing the 8 weeks, and then I wanted to do a little bit of recovery. So I got ambitious. I went to LA Fitness, really hammered it on the legs, the upper body, and then, went for a bike ride because it was so nice yesterday. And then I probably did the worst thing I ever could do is at the end of the night, I decided to go for a walk. and my Achilles is so bad. I woke up so stiff, and actually my whole body is stiff. Like my legs, everything is sore again, and it was just getting better. And I'm like, man, how come this is happening? You know, it's like, ah. So anyway, I can't work out today. It's Saturday, Friday, and then I want to do a long bike ride tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. I definitely need to work on this Achilles. Yeah, it's frustrating as can be. I decided some non-training news that I'm going to spend another month here. So we were supposed to head back mid-March. And I was looking at weather back in Toronto and looking through the Ring camera and seeing the snow. And I just was like, no, I can't do it. So Alice decided she wants to go back, which is fine. So that means that Reed and I, we're slumming it. If she would have stayed, I would have had to get a nicer place. But because it's just me and my son, we slummed it. But it's not that much slumming. We're going to be on Manhattan Beach, 8 blocks from Manhattan Beach, which is where great bike riding is, great running is, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, I'm injured, pissed off, because I would definitely have run today. Saturday ride in the books. I'm doing it from this room today because I've got guests and they're outside, and I normally do it outside. I've got my brother and a significant other here for a week or so. So here's the story. I am so sore, man. My legs, my calves, even my back, everything. I thought I was over all this stuff. So I think, I mentioned I went to LA Fitness a couple days ago, worked out, did a bike ride. Next day I was out of it. My Achilles killing me. So yesterday I couldn't run, couldn't do anything. So today I woke up and I was still like super sore. You have no idea. I'm just shuffling. And then last night we went to a hockey game, the Anaheim Ducks versus the Jets, and I could hardly walk. I was shuffling. Anyway, I pushed myself out the door, had the best bike ride, and it was most enjoyable too, because I just said to myself, you know what, just spin your legs, just go nice and easy, and just, let the stuff flush through. And so I did that, and it was like the fastest ride I've had. It was like 28 kilometers. Now, not to say that I was a little competitive. I saw some guys out there and, cranked it up a bit. But I almost wiped out, thanks to the Asian invasion. There's a whole cycling group. There must have been about 30 or 40 guys, Asian guys. I noticed they really like cycling, a lot of them. It seems to be a trend. That and swimming swimming at LA Fitness. It's, I don't know, that's two good sports that they're into. Anyway, they come pulling up beside me, this huge Peloton. I got stuff in my eye, sweat. They come up to me, this Peloton. And anyway, long story short, I'm pulling, keep going faster. And then they turn on to a trail. Well, now they're turning here, I'm here, and I got to get back around, and I almost hit a guy's back tire and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, I survived. I didn't fall, and I think they were yelling at me a bit, so whatever. Quick story. The story is you could take the boy out of Winnipeg, but you can't take Winnipeg out of the boy. So we went to the Anaheim versus Winnipeg Jets game. My brother and I, he's a big fan. So I bought tickets, and the tickets I bought were right at the very top. Like, I'm talking the top. I think the cheapest ones, they were in the middle area, but your back was against the wall. So of course we got there, and the first thing we did was we didn't go up to those tickets. We found 4 seats that were open down below. Again, you can take the boy out of Winnipeg, but you can't take Winnipeg out of the boy. So we went down, we got 4, and then all of a sudden, the people whose 4 seats those were showed up. And Darlene, who's Bob's significant other, she was just brilliant. She goes, what, isn't this D? Because there was another 4 seats open in front. We got those 4 seats. Needless to say, there was another guys in front of us. We got to know them. One of the guys from Winnipeg had a great time. So we had the cheap $70 tickets that were 4 rows up from ice. Anyway, now it is Saturday. I'm going to take it easy, have a shower, and hang out with my brother. Okay, Sunday, just finished working out at LA Fitness, then did a bike ride. You know what, my calf was so sore, my Achilles, everything else, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to do something. So I went to LA Fitness, did upper body. I'm at that point where you're at like 8 weeks, now I'm into week 9, that now I don't want to quit. It's like finally I've got some momentum, right? It's like a big wheel. big heavy wheel, and you start getting it and you got the momentum. And then today it's like 27 degrees outside morning, and I'm like, man, I have to go out for a ride, I have to go out. And I was debating, do I don't. And you know, my Achilles, should I give my legs more time, because my hamstrings are really sore. I think it was from doing deadlifts the other day. I've never done those in my life, and I think I overdid it, but that's good. It, you know, the sore muscles makes it feel like, hey, I've accomplished something. So anyway, I thought, okay, I'm just going to go out for an easy spin, do, you know, 30 minutes. Ended up doing about 40, and of course the speed is faster than I actually thought it would be, so it's incredible. As I'm riding, it's a running trail, Back Bay, and you see a lot of the people that motivate me the most are these heavy set people, and most of them are girls, and I'm just so inspired. You see them, they get out there and they're just running and, you know, just doing what they have to do. And I often think, you know, what they should be doing is getting on a GLP One. I've been on it. You don't think about food anymore, and it's not a magic pill. You still have to work out. I was talking to my brother, and one of the things I was telling him, you can't train yourself skinny. You have to eat properly, and just that stuff, the GLP ones, is just such a help. Anyway, Sunday all done. I'm off. Gonna enjoy the day with my wife, my brother, his significant other. Have a good one. Week number 9 in the record books. What's there to say? Well, on the pro side, I made it through the week. I'm actually feeling more motivated to work out. It was a week where there was no structure, so it was nice and loose, and I felt more like I was doing training because I was enjoying it. So that's on the pro side. On the con side, I had beat myself up for 8 weeks, and my Achilles is really sore. And you know, the other thing I learned on the con side is I have to start doing weights consistently, because I'm not doing them enough consistently. I might do it and then a week later I'm doing it, or not a week later, maybe a week and a half later. So it's like almost starting over. So when I get out of the gym, I'm like super sore. But if you do it on a regular basis, eventually the soreness goes away. And this time around, I was doing deadlifts, which I've never done. And I was doing all kinds of lunges and maybe being a little overzealous, really pushing myself. So for all week, it's been really tough walking and my hamstrings and all that stuff. So that, I guess it's a con in that it hurts. And it's also, the positive is I realized I got to do it more. And also I have to stretch more. So the thing is I'm going into week 10 now. I take Mondays off. I need to come up with what the plan is. I think it might be a little bit more about doing weights this for a little bit, and also still, of course, doing endurance and stuff like that. But anyway, got through week number 9 feeling good. And I have, over the last 4 weeks that I've been here, I have dropped 4 pounds. So according to my Apple Watch, for weeks, 8 or 16 weeks, I was 196 pounds, and now I'm averaging 192 pounds. So I would love to get down to about 188, you know, so we'll see what happens. I'll see if I can continue at a pound a week, and I'm still eating ice cream and doing all that sort of stuff. So it's not like I'm killing myself. Anyway, have a good one. See you next week.